Testing. Hello. Hello. All right. Hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, as I was saying, they trying to shut me up, yo. They trying to get me quiet. They're trying. They're trying. All right. Here goes. When I asked what we were going to be talking about today, what I heard is testing you, but they're failing. That's what they get. That's what they get. Her. They're failing. I don't know who they are, but something's definitely testing you, maybe testing your resolve, testing to see just how much you will allow yourself to learn, maybe, you know. Yeah, no, energies have been ramping up. People are being weird today. I don't know, past 2 days I've been in a little bubble and kind of just hanging out. Kind of just hanging out in my little bubble, and it is what it is. But I am noticing that other people are starting to lose their caca. Not in my life, but just like observing. I'm seeing this primarily on people's TikTok comments. Yeah, a lot of projection, a lot of fear, a lot of just accusatory type behaviors because people don't want to look at their own shadows. And those of us who have done the shadow work that's necessary to understand whatever it is that we're needing to understand in this time, these people who haven't done their shadow work are very much triggered by our existence. And that's kind of just too bad for them. Not our problem. I think you need to say that a lot in the next few weeks. Not my problem. It's not my problem. Hi, Mariah. Okay. Respect. At all times, you need to make sure that you have a base level of respect for self. First and foremost, it must be respect for self. If something that you're being encouraged to do, encouraged to participate in, is going to disrespect your perception of yourself, your worth, your proper place and proper function, then don't participate in that. Okay. That includes telling people off. I've been so tempted. It's ridiculous. I've been so tempted. I've been so tempted, but what's that going to accomplish? This is a period where Blu-rays specifically, you're getting the opportunity to begin really utilizing your energy in the way that you choose. So if you're going to allow yourself to get into a space where other people have control over the way you feel and the way you move, that's not going to be good for you. It's going to use energy that you could be utilizing for your growth, for your healing, for your manifestations, and it's going to waste it. Remember, I said a few videos ago, for those of us who are here to help facilitate something beautiful for the rest of the collective, there's going to be a lot of attempts to really get you to waste your energy on nonsensical things that you have no control over. People's perception of you have no control over. I can't control whether you see me as a good person or as a bad person. No matter what I do, I cannot control that. And I have to be okay with people being free to see me in whatever way they choose to see me, whether it's good, whether it's bad. Really, that has nothing to do with the reality of the person that I am. It has everything to do with the reality of the filters that these people are using. Most people are using filters from trauma, their trauma over their life and what they've been through, their disappointments. That's how people receive your communications, your presence, your energy. Case in point, there's one video that I have on TikTok where it's actually a very uplifting type video, in my opinion, where it's like, yeah, people are going to try, just don't bother. It's not worth it. You just keep going. And, keep in mind that however much you go through during this period, it's going to be very indicative of how much blessing you experience once you're through this phase. And then someone was basically like, I'm speaking from fear. That's funny because I don't feel afraid. you know, People will receive you in whatever way they need to receive you. So, guardian and familiar. You have a team with you that's going to help you through this period. Whatever it is you need to do through this period, it will happen no matter what. Your perception of how you experience it and the way you actually experience it, that's very dependent on how you choose to see whatever it is you're experiencing. An example of this, years ago, in order for me to get onto the path that would be of the highest service because of specific skill set and predetermined events that have been selected by my soul, I needed to be on a specific path. And in order to be on that path, I needed to go through a period of homelessness. Most people would be like, it's a horrible thing, this and that. I loved it. I did. I loved it. It wasn't horrible to me. And it was something that my whole family saw as very peaceful. And part of the reason why I had to experience that was because I was refusing to get on the path that I'm supposed to be on. And I experienced it in that way because I knew that this was simply a process that I was in. And, it is what it is. It's just a process that I'm in. And I simply need to learn whatever it is that I need to learn. And once I learn it, then I'm on to the next thing. And I knew that down to my soul, to my core. I knew that. I knew that. And because I knew that, and I wholeheartedly accepted that, um, I didn't have any fear. I didn't have any fear at all. A lot of what needs to happen is already happening. You just need to allow yourself to get to a point where you're in alignment with what it is so that you can go through it in a um, much smoother way. There's going to be a lot of testing you. Many people are being utilized to access you and alter your frequency. When your frequency is altered, the trajectory of your journey is also altered. So you simply need to just get on board. Now, we're already in autumn, I believe. Are we in autumn? I don't know. I don't keep track of that. But if we are in autumn, if we're approaching autumn, whatever it is, autumn is supposed to be upside down. It's upside down because there's going to be a lot of attempts to drain you rather than fill your cup. For some of us, we need to be drained because of the toxicity that's already in your cup. That needs to be completely emptied out, rinsed out before it's refilled. For others of us, we're already partially filled with what is healthiest for us. But there are things and people and circumstance that is intending to try and empty you, intending to try and taint your cup. Okay. That means no, thank you. This is me holding my cup and covering the top. I don't think so. I don't think so. I remember years ago when I was in my early 20s, um, I went to, I don't remember if it was a bar or a club anymore, but I do remember I had a drink and someone was trying to lean in to talk to me. And I was like, what? And it was a guy, some random ass guy. I think maybe I was 19. Maybe I was 18. Anyways, I had a cup. Here's my cup. And I was like, what? And they're trying to lean in. And then they turned and I was like, I'm sorry, what? I covered my cup. And like, you really cover I don't know you. What are you leaning in for? Granted, it was loud, but I covered my cup. I was like, no, I don't think so. Right? You need to cover your cup when someone questionable. When you must interact with a person that is questionable in their energy, in their integrity, cover that cup. Don't let their toxicity in. Don't let their toxicity in. Okay? There's a lot of testing going on, and this testing has a lot to do with trying to see if you will revert back to these old patterns, old cycles. You can if you want. That's not going to benefit you though. Okay. Um, they're trying to set it up so that way next summer is also upside down. This already started during this summer that either we're still in or we just passed. Upside down. All of this is leading us towards a point where the collective whole finally agrees to transcend, to rise above. A lot of petty, frustrating things. You'll notice there's a lot of petty, frustrating things. For me, for example, I took over my husband's laptop so that my microphone could work with a laptop. And then starting yesterday, the microphone won't work at all with a laptop. That's okay. That's okay. The reason it's okay is because I already know my soul is already guiding me into a space where I actually need to what? I need to purchase another laptop. And I just don't want to. So I'm having to purchase another laptop. I can either allow myself to get very irritated, or I could just recognize it for what it is. My husband needs his laptop. I need a new laptop. And that's that. It's very matter of fact. It is very matter of fact. It is what it is. It is what it is. Right? And maybe the new laptop that I need to get is going to be something that really inspires me to take my digital work to a whole nother level. Who knows? Who knows? Right? Maybe it's for my own well-being and safety. Who knows? Maybe there's some type of something that's already some type of Trojan that's been placed on one of my devices, and my soul is like, no, that device is compromised. You can't use that anymore. I don't know. I just know that I'm being guided because guess what? Just today, I was presented with an opportunity to make it happen where, yeah, buy a whole nother laptop, buy a whole nother laptop, buy a whole nother interface, buy a whole nother mic, buy different lights, just completely upgrade, update my entire mobile studio. Don't get frustrated. Don't allow what seems like setbacks to upset you. I've already been talking about I need a new laptop for how long? And when my laptop pooped out, I didn't buy one. I didn't want to spend the money for it. And then when the microphones pooped out, I didn't buy another laptop. Why? I didn't want to spend the money for it. I just don't. Was it because I didn't want to? Or was it because my soul is basically letting me know, hold on, we're moving things so that there is greater alignment. So when you go to do what you know you must do, you can get what you know you actually need rather than settling, rather than just, whatever it is, right? I mean, are you not tired of settling? Sometimes you just got to wait a little bit longer. Sometimes waiting just a little bit longer will present you an opportunity that you would not believe. And oftentimes, when you're given that awareness of, hey, just wait a little bit, just wait a little bit. I don't know why I'm dragging my feet, but I am. And it is what it is right now. This is not how I usually function, but it is what it is. I respect that. I'm in some type of process I don't understand, a process I'm not aware of. So I'm just going to roll with this. I'm going to flow with this. And then you know what happens? You regain your balance. And as you regain your balance, you know what you could do? Enter into a space of solid creation. So I see this now because now that we're talking about it, I'm looking back and I'm able to connect the dots. Okay, there was an alignment that was needing to take place. It wasn't fully aligned yet. Hey, flaky boo. It wasn't fully aligned yet. And what needs to happen is being slated already. And as long as I'm patient, everything that needs to happen is being ticked off. It's like a little process, like a list of things that soul is needing me to have, right? I don't know what it is. I'm not a tech person. I don't know what it is. I just know I need a big screen. I just do. I need a big screen, right? And now I'm realizing, oh, soul needed me to hold on a little bit longer because I actually need to upgrade all of my equipment at this point. Whatever you've been working with, whatever set of things that you've had in your life, those are your tools, those are your equipment, right? Those things are what you are equipped with, whether it's a characteristic, a personality trait, whatever it is, right? That's your equipment. And you've been making do with that for how long? You've been responsible with it. You've been making do with it. It's served you pretty well. But now you're reaching a point where, with the way you function and where your soul is trying to take you, you need the upgraded stuff. You need like the real equipment. So flow with it and allow soul to provide for you what is necessary. Sometimes when soul provides something for you, it is a feeling, an experience of simply being given something, an opportunity, tangible goods, whatever it is, right? Other times, it's something where soul is giving you the opportunity to earn it, to bring it to fruition. You just got to make sure you pay attention. Self reflection It's time for you to look in the mirror and see the ways in which your fear of lacking, your fear of failure, um, it's causing you to sabotage your process by trying to force, trying to rush. Sometimes it's not you. Sometimes it's not your fear. It's not an internal process. Sometimes it is something that's external from you. It's a person, it's a circumstance. It's you wanting to insert yourself into situations you have no business being in. You have to pay attention. You have to pause. You have to recognize when you have left your triggers out in the open for people to use. Now, Michael is making an analogy. When you exist as a weapon of divinity, your triggers must always be kept on safety. Ooh. I take it we are weapons of divinity. I take it our existence is a weaponized existence in the most divine way, that you simply existing as you are a threat to an already crumbling system that has oppressed the human consciousness for as long as we have existed. So there is weaponry that has specific features that creates safety. For example, many firearms will have a safety button that prevents you from being able to pull the trigger accidentally and discharge your weapon. That's a safety feature. Um, for those who are new, that would probably be the best option, the best way to function, to have that safety button on, have the safety engaged. Other weaponry has features where it doesn't necessarily have a safety button to lock the trigger. What it does have is a little feature like a canic. Is that how you pronounce it? A canic. It's a type of sidearm, right? It's a pew pew sidearm. And it has a little button on the back that when you have cocked the slider, meaning there's a potentiality for a projectile loaded into the chamber, the back has a little button that gets depressed and then it shows as red. So that tells you, "Ooh, weapon hot, don't mess around with it. Don't play. Don't play. Visual check, right?" And then there's other weaponry like say a Glock. A Glock has no safety at all. Glock is not a very wise choice for a first time um, weapon. It's just not. It's not. It's popular. Um, it's used by law enforcement because there's no safety. They just pull it out and go. For their line of work, they need to have that. They need to have that. So you need to be aware, what is your line of work here? What is your line of soul purpose, soul work? For me, my personal purpose requires I have no safety. But because I'm advanced in my awareness of my purpose, I know how to handle the weaponry that I am. That means until I'm ready to play, I'm holding it like this. The trigger is never engaged with my finger. I'm blocking it. All it takes is for me to bend my finger and then I can pull, right? You have to know what your purpose is. Not all of us are here to participate in a spiritual war. Most of us that are here to bear witness to the process that's being pushed onto the collective whole. These malignant, dark things, they don't know what your purpose is. So they're trying to trigger everyone. They're trying to see who can be triggered. They're looking for your triggers. If you're going to leave it out there in the open, they will absolutely be fiddling with that. This is not about hiding who you are. It's not. This is about understanding the way you function, your capacity, your capability, and what you are designed to fulfill in this life. You don't have to know all the details for you to begin functioning in a more efficient manner. Abundance in reverse. So, for some of us, in order for us to get on board with allowing more of what it is that soul wants for us, we have to first exist in a space where we are devoid of the very things that are necessary for us to feel safe. And it's in that fear, it's in that space of being triggered that you actually step into the role that you were designed to fulfill. I don't know, for those of you who have been with me for some time, you've witnessed me go through some some caca. You've witnessed me go through quite a bit on social media. I hope you've noticed the pattern when I do. I go through the process I need to go through, feeling the emotions that are natural, and then recalibrating myself. And I hope the most important thing, I hope that what you've noticed is every single time conflict is presented to me, every single time some random person attempts to pull my triggers, what happens? I level up instead of discharge. I level up. At no point do I, as a spiritual weapon of divinity, have any failure to eject. That's when your ammo gets stuck. Your ammo gets stuck. If it doesn't eject the casing, that's it. If you can't unjam that, that's it. It's useless. You got a paperweight. Why do I never have failure to eject? Because I properly maintain all the moving parts of me. It's time for you to take the time to properly maintain all of your moving parts. If it moves, it must be maintained, or eventually it will fail. Now, for some of you, you might think, well, then the solution is to stay rigid. If you stay rigid, it is much easier to break you. How do you shatter a marshmallow? Do you? Can you shatter a marshmallow? Can you shatter jello? How do you shatter a mirror? How do you shatter a brick wall? If you're going to be rigid, you better have some mass to that rigidity. Because most people who are rigid, they're nothing but a pane of glass, or maybe even just a mirror. There is not enough mass to keep that rigid piece from shattering. You have to understand the way you function. All of these tests that are happening is testing your resilience. Oh, look at all that parasite. Look at all that yuck, yuck, right? It's testing your degree of resiliency. The goal is not to be rigid, not to think that you know everything, that you have all the answers for everything before you even know what the question is. The goal here is to be strong in your flexibility. Flexible strength increases your tensile strength. Your tensile strength is indicative of how easy it is to break you, to snap you. I will never snap. Why? Because I'm bendy as fuck. Literally and figuratively. I'm bendy. I just have to know what my limits are and not to go beyond that limit if I'm not aware of how my body, how my consciousness will react to it. The point here is you have to start knowing yourself. Look, see my finger? Most people's fingers are straight up like this, right? It's just straight up. I'm bendy. I could push it further. It's no pain to me. If I push it further, I know I'll dislocate my finger. How much further? I'm not sure because I don't feel the pain until after the event. The way your body functions, it's communicating to you the way your mind works. I don't understand how far I've taken things until after it's gone too far. What that means for me personally, I don't know how far I have allowed someone outside of me to disturb my peace until they've taken it too far. Let that sink in. How many of you have allowed others to disturb your peace, gaslighting yourself into a space of, I need to stay quiet. I'm just tripping. Oh my gosh, I'm so much drama. People think I always start the drama. Do you always start the drama, or are you simply sick and tired of staying quiet? So now you speak up for yourself. And those people who are accustomed to being able to treat you in whatever way they want are upset because guess what? They can't do that anymore. You can do that with words, or even more powerfully, you can do that with your absence. What will you choose? There was an individual, it was fairly recent. There was an individual who went ahead and they stitched one of my videos. They presented the video in a way where that's not what the video was talking about. So they basically misrepresented what the video was about. They misrepresented me, but they did it in a very glossed manner. And so basically, they were using my content to promote their work while putting me in a bad light that's not accurate to who I am in the work that I do. So then, of course, I'm not going to deal with that. I let my lawyer know. My lawyer sent out a message. And then there was kind of like this response of, I am, I am inviting, I don't remember because it was I didn't see the actual message. I was just communicating with my lawyer. It was something along the lines of, they're inviting me to go ahead and make a video response to them, at which point they can choose to make a video response to me. And that's that. And it's like, oh, how about this? I don't care. There will be no video responses from me at all. Why? Well, because the reality is, I don't need you to promote myself and my work. The true gravity of what I do is evident for those who are willing and capable of seeing and thinking for themselves. You see what I do and you know this is profound work. This is unlike anything anyone else is doing. I don't need you to promote me. However, I don't know that the same can be said for that individual because clearly they needed me to promote their own program. So, what's a powerful way to address that? Remove myself from it. My legal agree, like, yeah, no, there's no point. There's no point. Why? Because they need my participation to launch the campaign that they're launching for their business. Sometimes you have to say something. Other times you just need to recognize, oh, this is an individual that needs to have all access to me cut. removed. Requests denied, access revoked. That's a very powerful thing. It's a very, very powerful thing. Now, here's the fear card, right? Fear in reverse. This is telling me there's nothing you have to be afraid of through this process. This is the very process that you must go through to understand the full gravity of you. So I recently was venting um, to my twin, right? One of my twins, who happens to be like a social media genius. And I was like, yeah, people are just fucking weird. They're weird. Like, I don't understand this. Stay in my own lane. And, this, and this has happened. And then he's like, this is a really good sign. The fact that people are targeting you and they have a much larger audience than you is a really good sign because it means you have something unique and important to target. And I was like, exactly. Right? You don't have to compete and compare with other people. There are those who are in this life thinking that they can present themselves as more important than they actually are because what? Because social media? You think that's going to be something that intimidates me? Because it doesn't. I exist in my own space as a sovereign, free thinking. Your thoughts of me have nothing to do with the reality of me. Say that to yourself as many times as you need to begin contradicting all of the gaslighting that the people in your life are doing to you. You're not a victim. If you're allowing access to a person who has a history of gaslighting you, you are a participant, you are a co creator. It does not matter their title. When you identify them as someone who has become far too comfortable, tearing you down, triggering you, causing you to question your worth, what you deserve, your purpose, that shit needs to go. I don't give a fuck who you are and what title you have in my life. I don't play that shit at all. You can disagree with me. You can have a completely different view about life than I do. But the moment I identify you as someone who is so comfortable in your desire and actions to degrade me in some way, you need to go. I do that to myself enough. I don't need your help to do that. I don't. I question myself all the fucking time. I don't need anyone else's help to see myself in a negative light. And it's not for a lack of self love. It's truthful and transparent. There's a difference between being truthful and being transparent. I saw this in someone's video recently and I was like, oh, fuck, that's true. See, when you're truthful, you're offering information that's based in truth because it's been requested of you. When you are transparent, you are giving this information willingly, despite them not knowing this information. This detail exists because out of respect, you are giving them this so they can make a better, more informed decision about you, about interactions with you, whatever it is. I'm both truthful and transparent. There's nothing about me I need to hide. And it's not because I'm fearless. It's because I've gone through enough to know that I have the reservoir of courage that will get me through any circumstance life brings my way. I have the intelligence gifted to me by creation that will help me to understand how to move through any circumstance presented to me. It will be okay. And when negative things occur, that is creation giving me something to kick against. It's okay. Their behaviors, the people who try and harm you, who have malignant intention towards you, that's not okay. You, however, are okay. You will be okay. You are always okay. Have patience with your process of learning how powerful you actually are, how formidable you actually are. There will be periods during this during this process. Okay. Card is gone. There will be things you will go through that are rooted in the extreme. And the extremes, they carry with them the risk of you not realizing that you're simply in a process that's designed to help you see yourself with more clarity. Um, these people and things that are trying so hard to derail your progression, they only have power once you allow them to take power from you. Let that sink in. You guys have been witnessing me going through some weird ass circumstance the last month or two, right? You guys have seen this. Has anyone taken my power from me? No. Why? Because I won't let them. I won't let them. Does me not letting them involve talking shit, mirroring their behaviors, pitting my community against their community? No. It involves the appropriate legal correction along with me just continuing. Do you know how powerful you have to be faced with adversity and know, like, oh, that's dumb. I'm just going to carry on. I have things I have to do. I have things I have to do. You see, the more people outside of you challenge you and use adversity to try and take power from you. Oh, God, this card. I knew it was going to come up too. The more people outside of you do this, that's usually indicative of how elevated your purpose actually is, especially when it's random ass people you don't even know. Especially that. Especially that. Have more courage than you do fear. You don't have to be fearless, completely devoid of fear. That's an unreasonable and unrealistic expectation of yourself. I still experience fear, but it's very mild. It sometimes will be a jolt of recognition, like, oh my God. And then I'll be like, okay, calm down. What's the oh my God about? This is how my brain functions. What's the oh my God about? What's going on? What are the details here? Okay, what will we need to do to negate this? What do we need to do to neutralize whatever this is? Oftentimes, it's just removing access to you. It's so easy to be a sovereign, you guys. You complicate things too much. I used to do that. Now everything is very simple. Keep going until you can't keep going, and then find out what direction you're supposed to be going after that. You hit a brick wall. Well, that's just a redirection. It's just a redirection. It's not the end of your journey. It's a redirection. That means you have to turn either left or right. You need to have unconditional love for yourself. You also need to stop being afraid of your shadow. You have to stop with this fear of darkness and shadow. Darkness and shadow are not intrinsically evil. It's the human being and their intention to dominate you, their intention to control your journey and the outcome of your decisions. Uh, that's what you need to avoid. Those are the people you need to avoid. I don't know who those people are in your life, but those are the people you need to avoid. The people who try and tell you, I'm just trying to protect you from your own learning. That's like me inviting you to work out with me and then seeing that you're, being challenged by the amount of weight on the bar. And then I'm suddenly telling you to re rack that bar, get out of the way. I'm going to carry it for you. Will you grow? Will you experience hypertrophy? Will you increase in your strength and your stability? Will you improve in your proprioception? Absolutely not. I will, though. I will. I've taken that opportunity from you. That's why that type of logic, the holier than thou, I'm trying to protect you because I love you, that's some wickedness. That's not from a space of love. That's from a space of fear. You need to balance everything in your life. You need to allow this balance to be something that really, really gets you into a space of such awareness that you're no longer afraid to be still. For many of us, we're afraid to be still because we're afraid of what we will find in the stillness that lives inside us. I used to be afraid of it. I used to always need to go, 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 go. I used to need to always more projects, more people, more projects, more people, more people, more people, more people, help, 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 give, 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 go, 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 earn, 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 give, 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 give. It's just like fucking insanity now that I look back. And why did I do that? Because if I slowed down and entered the stillness, I didn't know what I would find. And being a person who has struggled with peace for a large portion of my life, I was afraid that I would find, that I would uncover inside me um, a devastating war. You know what ended up happening instead? I found the stillness is where my peace actually lives. I used to always need something playing in the background, music, some kind of noise, a TV, something. Now I enjoy just silence. I enjoy sitting without talking. I thoroughly enjoy that. It's been a few years at this point. I remember a conversation. I remember a conversation years ago. This individual, I think, was talking about like the eventuality of meeting up, like being in the same space and having conversation and hanging out, that type of thing. Um, and I remember saying, like, as long as you know, I don't talk much in person. I'm really quiet. If you're expecting like live stream Emmy, which is that's how I am as well. But most of the time, I like to just sit without speaking. I just like to stare at things and just feel the essence of the space I occupy. Once I realized it's within the stillness that my peace truly exists, I'm hesitant to exit out of there. I'm very hesitant to exit out of there. I'm not confined there. I exit it when I choose to. But unless you're offering me a comparable degree of peace, I'd be hesitant to exit out of there. I love it in the stillness. There's so much clarity there. Other people's disharmonic, modified opinions, they can't exist there. There's no chaos in there. For many of us, we're unaware of what that is, where that is inside us. I think this is a period where, for some, for many, you're going to be presented an opportunity to stand face to face with a mirrored soul, someone who is a reflection of your innermost state of peace or turmoil, if that's where you're still at. For some of you, oh, okay. I just got a message. For some of you, this is you, right? This is you right here in your stillness and your peace. And there is an individual who is a mirrored soul who needs to be in your presence in order to be able to calibrate into a space of peace as well. They're ready to enter into their peace, a peace that you already live in. Okay, that's fair. That's absolutely fair. It's absolutely fair. You don't have to save anyone. You simply need to be open to allowing people, specific individuals, for those this message applies to. You need to be open to allow them to experience your depth of peace if you've already lived in there. And that will help them to recalibrate whatever it is that's causing them the greatest degree of pain and distorted perception. That's a powerful thing to know that you have the power, have the stamina and the strength to share with another person so they can stabilize themselves. You're not saving anyone and you're not meant to. But sometimes you simply being witnessed as you are in your most authentic state, it's like giving someone a copy of a survival manual they'll need to get through whatever process they're currently in. That's powerful. And I think that's what most of our community is made of. People who are living survival manuals here as a gift to others, because in what you have learned and the way you now exist, you are empowering someone outside of you just by your proximity. You're empowering them to do more than survive. You're empowering them to choose to thrive. That is powerful. So I gotta go. I have sessions starting. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Before I go, I want to remind you guys, I do have the Baneful Protection Workshop coming up. It's next week. Not this weekend, but next weekend. Seats are really dwindling down. If you'd like to participate, please click on the QR code or the link in the comment. Again, I will most likely not be repeating this specific workshop. This one, it takes a lot out of me, so I'm probably not going to repeat this. I do have other workshops, though. The Morphogenetic Fundamentals workshop, which I repeat a couple times a year. This is where I teach you how to work energy in the way that I know how. I wasn't taught. I didn't find it in some book or anywhere online. This is directly from the memories that were left intact. I teach the applied biospiritual theories of aura spectra bioregenesis. And then I also have the Secured Spaces event. That's going to be coming up in a couple weeks. This is a very powerful event. Everyone is welcome to join that. I gotta go though. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I will